Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjari Jari Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo Jagannatha Jayo Baladeva Shubhadramayi Jaya Sudarsana Jayo Krishna Balaram Jayo Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jayo Krishna Balaram Jayo Gandharvitya Giridhari Gandharvitya Giridhari Gaurari Jayo Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jayo Jaya Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Teva Narottam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tadodayam Ude Natta Praya Subhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhakti Pavantanayam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanayana Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vajanam Pangum Lange Degre Yatkilta Tamaham Bande Guru Dina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. I seek blessing from all the devotees so that I can speak the Bhagavatam in the parampara for the pleasure of the devotee and the Krishna and my own purification. Today we will be reciting the second canto, first chapter, sloka number 31. It's a very interesting one. We are exploring the Vishwarupa. You can all recite along with me. Chandam Shanantaccha Chirogranti Damsra Sneha Kalo Dvajani Aso Janamada Karoi Chamaya Duranta Sargo Yatapanga Mokshaha Chandam Shanantaccha Chirogranti Dramsta Yama Snega Kala Dvajani Aso Janamada Kare Chamaya Duranta Sargo Yatapanga Mokshaha Chandam Charanantaccha Chiro Granti Damsra Yama Snega Kala Dvajani Aso Janamada Karoi Chamaya Duranta Sargo Yatapanga Mokshaha. Word by word meaning. Chandamshi, the Vedic hymns, Anantashya of the Supreme, Shira, the cerebral passage, Granthi, the say, Dramstaha, the jaw of the teeth, Yamaraja, the director of the sinner, Sneha Kala, the art of affection, Dvajani, the set of feet, Asa, the smile, Janam Unnamada Kari, the most alluring Cha, also Maya, illusory energy, Duranta, incurable, Sarga, the material creation, yet Apanga, whose glance, Moksha, casting over. Translation purport by His Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. They say the Vedic hymns are a cerebral passage of the Lord, and his jaws of teeth are Yama, the god of death, who punishes the sinner. The art of affection is his set of teeth, and the most alluring illusory material energy is his smile. This great ocean of material creation is but the casting of his glance is over us. But according to the Vedic ascertain, the material creation is a result of the Lord casting a glance over the material energy, which is described herein as the most alluring illusory energy. The conditioned soul who are allured by such a materialism should know that the material temporary creation is simply an imitation of the reality, and that those who are captivated by such alluring glance of the Lord are put under the direction of controller of the sinner called Yamaraja. The Lord smiles affectionately, displays his teeth. He intelligent person who can grasp the truth about the Lord become a soul fully surrender unto him. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurumilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Swapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Tadambhishtam Madamkyam Vandeham Sri Guru Shivata Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Cha Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishapanu Devi Pranamami Haripe Vancha Kalpatarubhisha Kripa Sundevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Namo Pangajanabhaya Namo Pangajamalini Namo Pangajanetraya Namaste Panchakar Jangriye Hare Krishna. Welcome once again for Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. Today is very interesting. Last 6-7 classes it was describing about Virata Rupa. I'll repeat once again the translation. They say that the Vedic hymns are the cerebral passage of the Lord, and his jaws of the teeth are Yama, the god of death, who punishes the sinner. The art of affection is his set of the teeth, and the most alluring illusory material energy is his smile. This great ocean of material creation is but the casting of its glance over us. The purpose says in his statement that first canto, it describes about the glories of the Hare Krishna holy name. Hare Krishna, chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So he is chanting the glories about the holy name, and he also gives a hint by the process. The neophyte devotees may perform the meditation on the universal form of the Lord. So he also meditates on the for the neophyte devotees to meditate on upon the universal form of the Lord. So Parishit Maharaj glorifies in that chapter that he is glad to receive the Sukadeva Goswami, and he was provided asana to ask him to sit and do the warm welcoming. He was very proud of being a descendant of Arjuna, the intimate friendship of Krishna, friend of Krishna, and personally he was very humble and meek, and expressed that Krishna was very kind to his grandfathers, the son of Pandus. So this is how the second canto starts. First canto, second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam starts. In the second canto, if you look at that, we have to work very hard to get something. So hard work, nothing comes free. Example is, even though the lion is a king of forest, but if it keeps open its mouth, the deer will not come and fall on its own. So similarly, to get any spiritual knowledge, we should work hard. So to understand, so second canto is full of philosophy. It needs little more hard work to understand it. So if you compare that, the main speaker of Bhagavad Gita is Krishna. So he spoke 584 slokas in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna opens his mouth only in the second chapter only. So similarly, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the main speaker is Sukadeva Goswami, and he started speaking only in the second canto. Okay. If you see the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna chastised Arjuna, saying that Arjuna, you think you are a great Pandit? So, but when he compared to Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami glorifies the Parikshit Maharaj questions, encouraging him. He said that your questions are very valid. It's very useful, not only for this people, but also the upcoming generation also. The question benefits the whole universe. So, this is how he glorifies the Parikshit Maharaj. So, Prabhupada, he explained that this part of meditation of the initial form is a glance of the Lord on the material creation. So yesterday we were discussing on that only. The Mahatattva, where Garbhodakya Vishnu from his hair porous, the Anda, the universes are created, and each universe Garbhodakya Vishnu enters, and finally when Sri Krishna enters, all the actions happening, elements are started acting. So it is all happening that universal form is a glance of the Lord on the material creation. The sweet smiling face is the universal form. The rows of teeth are the Lord's affection. So Lord is smiling, the teeth are affection. The jaws are compared to the Yamaraja, Lord of Death, and Vedic hymns are the cerebral forms. So, cerebral means the brain, part of the brain which works. So, we have to understand. So, Vedic hymns are the head. So, that gives us full knowledge. So, Prabhupada said that neophyte devotee, it's very important to meditate upon the universal form. We also, as a practitioner also, we are none other than the neophytes only. It is all this, why we have to study second canto is to understand the universal form for us only, to understand Krishna. Yesterday also we explained. So Prabhupada mentioned that the universal form is a godless manifestation of Krishna consciousness. When you are a devotee, you don't require the universal form, Prabhupada says. So, if you are already there, it is only for the neophyte devotees. So that we have to understand. That means here he is referring to the devotee means the fully exalted devotees, not the practitioners. So that we have to understand. So we have to understand the universal form to understand Krishna fully. The universal form in this second canto is described in three different parts. Three forms are explained. The first form is explained in the first chapter, and the second form is explained in the sixth chapter, and also further down the line. The Parikshit Maharaj asked three valuable questions that Sukadeva Goswami navigate those answers in this chapter. So his question is, how do I achieve dharana? So, in the first canto, we were discussing about Yama and Yama, Niyama. So, Ashtanga Yoga, we were describing it. So, the question is, how do I perfect or accomplish the dharana? Dharana means practicing and concentrating on a particular subject. So, in the Ashtanga Yoga, there is 8 stages are there. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyakara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So here the Dharana comes in the sixth stage. If I don't perfect my Dharana, then when should I ask Ashraya? Then where should I ask the Ashraya? So if I first thing we have to concentrate. So concentration, how do I perfect my concentration? This is what that even we are all struggling that chanting, we are unable to concentrate. So we are unable to concentrate on the chanting. So same way Parikshit is asking that how do I concentrate on the dharana? Dharana means concentration. So if I don't concentrate, then where I'll take the shelter, Asriya. Even after taking shelter, if my mind is not becoming pure, even taking shelter, if my mind is not pure, then what is the hope that, what shall I do? So these are questions. If you see that we have heard about the previous classes, the Vishwamitra, even though he entered into the Samadhi stage, but still his mind is not purified. It was in subconscious level, he is getting disturbed. So what to talk about Dharana stage? Dharana is a concentration stage. So we have to understand how important this concentration is. So let us compare our daily routine practice. How do I perfect my sadhana in my meditation? That what we are doing meditation is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So we are chanting and meditating on the sound of this thing. So mantra meditation we are doing, which I do every day. How do we accomplish the proper chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra? That is when you do something, you should accompany. So like an example is where when you purchase a land, you should build a house. So that is accomplishment. If you are studying, you should pass the examination. That is accomplishment. Okay. Similarly, when you do the mantra meditation, you should accomplish that. Okay. If you don't accomplish that, what happens? So what is my shelter? Asriya. So what should I take the shelter? Then what we have to do? Even after taking shelter also, if I am not able to do anything, so that means if you are, it is like sometime it happens that when you make the wheat dough, so if you are not properly done, so too much of water, then you cannot make chapatis. So similarly, our sadhana, if it's not proper, perfect, and we are not got the shelter, that means some result, but we can't do anything. So not able to do anything. So what is the hope for us? Where do we have to go next? It is applicable for not only for the Parikshit Maharaj, it is applicable for us also. So this is a very good message for the devotee practitioners to understand that how important the chanting of holy name and concentration on the mantras. If I am not able to focus on my meditation, then Sukadeva Goswami gives an answer to all the problems. So here he gives us some checklist. Let us follow this checklist on our daily chanting time so that we can perfect our sadhanas. So first thing is mastering the art of asana. First we have to sit properly. Asana means sit properly. Hearing attentively, sit on one place. So we have to sit in one place, start hearing it. So before starting the chanting, first what we have to do is we have to sufficiently hear. We should hear. There are many Maharajas in their biography, you might have seen that there are like Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he gets up at 3 o'clock, he reads Bhagavatam and then goes for chanting. So many people does it. So even people read about the Namamrita before chanting. So these are the important tips that hearing sufficiently, so that the Sri Prabhupada says, speak and hear. That is a perfect sadhana. So what is pronounced, we have to hear it. So that is what is important chanting. The perfect your breathing practice. Second step is perfect your breathing practice. So asana we have done. So now pranayama. So how if you focus on chanting, no need of concentration on the breathing. But however the Ayurvedic doctor says it, that we should not breathe through the mouth, we should breathe through the nose. So when you breathe, when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the whole breathing transmits through the nose. Suppose a person is doing chanting at 6 minutes, then if you do properly, then it goes to the 8 minutes also. But by practicing that breathing exercise, the mind become very stable and able to hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra very nicely. So this is the second step. Sukadeva Goswami gives a tip. The third step he gave is that Jita Sangha. So we have to improve the association. The bad association puts us down. It drifts away from the chanting, concentration of chanting. A good association means, what do you mean by good association? It is not that okay, only brahmacharis at the temple they get a good association. No, even grihasthas also has the opportunity. Here the association means, good association means not talking about prajalpa, gossiping and no criticism, finding fault on others. So if we do that, then our association is perfect. So these are the prajalpas, and the criticism spoils one's own association. So it spoils oneself itself. So Jita Sangha should be avoided. Example, if you are taken a vow, okay, on a Chaturmasya, if you are taken, okay, if somebody is having addicted of watching movies or watching sports or various entertainment, so you can take a vow of not to involve in that. So at the end of the thing, your chanting will improve. Similarly, the fourth step is talking about Jita Indriya. Indriya means senses. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said that it's very difficult, most difficult to control is the tongue. So our tongue is looking for palatable food. So during the Chaturmasya, you can take a vow that okay, not to eat outside food, not to take food which are not cooked by the devotees and not offered to the Lord Krishna. If you take a vow and practice it, then our japa will improve. So these are the tips Sukadeva Goswami given for us, that if we are not able to concentrate on the japa, not getting the taste. So these tips are everybody knows, but over a period of time it drops out. It is the we lose it. Again we have to focus on this and regain. Then immediately you can find the result of the chanting the holy name and the taste of that with concentration. So purpose is a person who chants nicely. Okay, faces is the index of the mind. So you can easily make out the person who chants nicely, tejas on his face. So why? Because he is associated with Krishna in his heart. So that's why he is getting the tejas on his face. So this is the index of that. So we have to focus on chanting nicely so that we can see the Krishna in our heart. Still, if you are finding difficulty in chanting the holy name, concentrating and meditation, then don't lose the hope. There is still, Sukadeva Goswami gives a tip that how to focus, get back the chanting taste of it. He says that you can meditate on universal form of the Lord. So how to do that? Why do we have to do that? So Prabhupada makes a point that you start thinking, oh, these are the parts of the Lord that is controlled by the Lord. So this universe is Vishwarupa, self controlled by the Lord. One who sees these things become very good and surrender to the Lord, because he understands I am insignificant and the Lord is very big. Once Tamak Krishna Maharaj was a little bit puffed up. Then Prabhupada was there and he was explaining that Virat Rup. He said that how big the universe, the 14 planetary system, in the floating planetary system, where is the earth, and in the earth where is Bharata Kanta, then in the Bharata Kanta, then India, in the India, uh, it is US, and in the US at New York, and in New York there is a small church. In that small church, one a small room. In the small room, a person is standing. So by explaining this, he understood that, oh, how small I am in front of Lord. So this is a typical example of when you see the Virat Roop, we will come to know that how great is Lord, how insignificant we are. So this we have to meditate on that. So Prabhupada says. So by doing that, then we will perfect our chanting. Then we will be very surrendered to the Lord. How does it happen? How one can train his mind? So another example, we can, then two friends are going for the market, and one person is purchasing a guava fruit, and this fruit now by buying he can eat just like that. So he offered to the other his friend, but the his friend refused to accept it. He said that in our house there is a parrot, so whatever we are buying guava, we cut and feed to them. So from childhood I train up my mind that I should not eat the guava. So even now I am not. So this is how we have to train our mind. All the enjoyments are meant for Krishna. We should not get disturbed. So we have to train our mind. So another example we can take is how do we can see is Mahababa Thakurani and Lavanya Mataji, they used to decorate the deities. Whenever the deities come from the different temples to our KR Puram ISKCON, so they are in charge to take care of the deities, so decoration. So because they are so much engrossed with the deity service and decoration, so wherever they go for yatras, they used to buy the articles which when they see the articles like dress or the jewels, immediately their mind will focus on the Lord. Okay, this jewel will be suitable for this deity, this dress will be suitable for this deity. So their focus, their concentration is mapping to the deities. So Radha Krishna, Radha Ramanan, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Nitai Gaur Sundara, so many deities they come for the decoration. So they are able to correlate and their mind is shifting it. So this is how we have to train our mind. Even though these articles are materialistic, but when you see that it is getting connected to the Lord, that is what is the Virata Rupa. So we train our mind. So this is how we have to train the mind. Whatever we see, everything belongs to Lord and belong to the Lord. And so when you see the universal form, you start thinking that everything is for Krishna and not for me. So Ishobnas first started with the sloka saying that everything is owned by Krishna and the controller of the universe. So everything is under his control only. One should enjoy that is kept aside for his quota. So he should consider that whatever quota allotted for him, that only he should enjoy. Not enjoying anything else. Knowing who is it belong to. So example, you can say that there's a king is there, or a rich person is there. In that, even though there's a servant also stays in the same palace, same kitchen, same food he takes, but he knows his quota is whatever remnants left out by the rich man, whatever left out the garments, used garments by the rich man. So those are the things meant for him. So we have to develop the mind that everything belongs to that. Only we should enjoy what is left out for in our quota. So if you meditate on that, then you will understand that the universal form is everything belong to Krishna. Where is the question of that I can be the enjoyer? So nowadays the materialistic people, they don't know the reality. That's why they're going on buying so much of land, so much of digging, uh, exploitation is going on to the mother earth. So much of things they're thinking that okay, everything belongs to me, I am the enjoyer. So wrong. Even Hiranyaksha, he is attracted to the he was attracted to the gold and he was going on exploiting it. Because of that, the earth, Mother Earth lost its balance. She fell inside the costless ocean. So, we also materialistic people also mentality is turning to the Hiranyaksha mentality. So, as a devotee, we should come out of that. So, purpose also he glorifies the tribal Adivasis that they, even though they worship mountains and thunder, etc., but deep inside the heart there is a love of goddess is there. It is to understand that when you see the mirror, on the top of the mirror, if there is a water particles are there, so your face will not be visible. So much it's scattered. So then similarly, our heart is fully contaminated, so we are unable to see the Lord. But once you cleanse the mirror, we can able to see our face. Similarly, when you cleanse our heart, we can see the original form of the Krishna manifesting in our heart. So, Sri Prabhupada says that deep inside the heart, the pure love of Krishna is there. So, if you are able to cleanse the mirror of heart, then we can see the Lord manifestation in our heart. He also, Prabhupada says that don't criticize the Adivasis, calling them as a punk religion. No, this is called inclusive religion, because they are in the bottom of the heart, they can be able to see the love of God. So, conclusion of today's sloka is that if you see the purport, the first line talks about, they say that the Vedic hymns are the cerebral passage of the Lord, and his jaws of the teeth are Yama, god of death. But if you see the sloka, Duranta Sargo Yet Apanga Moksha. So it is the last line. So though the important point is given in the last line, but that is the first most important point of that. So we have to meditate on that. So how do we understand Virata Rupa? Why so many slokas are talks about that Virata and describing about this? So to understand somebody, so example is if somebody comes and tell you that so and so is bitten me, and like a child is coming and telling his father that in my school someone is beaten me, I got injured, it was bleeding, I have been taken to the first aid room and treated. So if you explain like that, what father can understand? He will go on asking that what is the name of the person who hit you, like that. So name is there. So Nama is the first one. Second thing is Rupa. Then he will ask, the father will ask, how he look? Is it short? Is tall? Has his shout? So many description he'll ask about. That is Rupa. Then Guna. So he will ask that whether it's an intelligent boy or a very bad person. He's a very strong man. So Guna he talks about. Then the father will ask that how the thing is happened. So whole scenario, that is called Leela. So in this sequence, the Virata Rupa has been explained. The name, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela is explained, so that we will understand clearly about the Lord Krishna. The glance of the Lord is a material existence. So because when the creation takes place, all the elements are impregnated by the glance of the Vishnu. So yesterday also in the class we told that just by the glance of the Lord, all this universe, all the living things and all the things got impregnated, then it is a Paramatma, it is all action is happening. So what is the nature of the material existence? So material existence is full of miseries. So while taking birth we cry. Okay, why we cry is it is not an amazing that taking birth we celebrate happy birthday every year after year. Is it not happy? Why we are crying at the time of birth, taking birth? Because in our subconscious stage, all the miseries is lined up. So when child is in the subconscious stage, all the miseries are lined up. That's why the baby is crying. The material life is the baby body is small, but the Atma remains same. So the Atma is recollecting the misery of the life. So material life is between the small happiness. So what do you mean by happiness? The happiness means the space which is better than the other space. So there is a narrow space between the other. It is like recently I was go through an article where in Kerala the Western Ghats, the full state is covered by Western Ghats. There's one packet is called Palakkad. That's a place, there's a huge valley there. So all the rail lines are been passing through that. So that's the important. So that's a narrow passage. This is the happiness they are able to do. So the happiness is the space between the other spaces. The whole Western Ghats section, one packet is the wide space where all the people were between the two states able to commute. Another example you can realize it when you are walking in a hot summers, then when you see a tree, then you rush to take a break. So the shade of the tree is a space, happiness, which gives you a happiness. So during the birth also we cry, during the death also we cry, in between the life also we cry. So why we cry always? Because yesterday we explained that why we are crying. So today we will see that when you ask somebody that how are you, then immediately he says that I am fine. What do you mean by fine? Even though he is having so much of miserable condition, but still he says happiness, because he also knows that everyone is having trouble. Then why I should say pass on my trouble also upon them. So this is the thing people consider, and they say that I am fine. Everybody is when you when you go to the office, when you see that people smile and greeting you, that gives happiness. When your boss shouted on the day in the office, and when you returning back to home, you have got frustrated because of your workload. But when you return back to home, your wife giving a warm welcome with a smile, beautiful smile, and your children are smiling and welcoming you, then you get a hope that, okay, I will enjoy this life. So this is a hope you are getting, that whenever you see a smiling face. But actually what we are supposed to say, which smiling face? Because these materialistic smiling faces are temporary. But what we are supposed to see, the smiling face is whenever you come to the temple, the big smiling face of the Lord in the altar with the teeth exposing. So that is a beautiful, because He is the one who gives a permanent smile, and He who can take you back home, back to Godhead. So another example, too much of sweet is not good. Okay, it is impetus. Impetus means what you are thinking is different. What is end up is different. Like example, diabetic patient. No, if it is if he eats sugar too much sweet, he will end up into trouble. So this is what that in our life also to continue the life for the sweetness is a continuous makes us to continue for one more day because of the sweetness. One has to see the sweetness in a matured way. So that's what is important. What is this? Because in this sloka I say that the most alluring illusory material energy is his mind. The great ocean of material creation is but casting its glance over there as so alluring illusory material energy. Okay, the smile. So one has to see the sweetness of matured way means because beyond that smile there is something else is there. Drumstai Yama. There is a jaw. There is Yamaraj is there, person of death. So jaw. All these small things, happiness, that will lead us to the death only, which is inevitable. So people think that I don't want to die, then follow the those who yesterday we told that people spend the money to the doctor to make them young to live longer. They don't want to die. But actually what Sukadeva Goswami says is, if you don't want to die, then follow the cerebral passage, which is a Vedic hymn. The brain, that is brain of the Virata Rupa is the Vedic hymns. If you follow the Vedic message, then you will not die. That means only the body dies, the soul goes back to home, back to Godhead. So Srila says that KC means Krishna consciousness. And also it is also means that what Krishna is thinking about. So there's a small pastime from this Rupa Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Rupa Goswami, who understood the mind of the Krishna, he wrote a poem, and who understand the cerebral of the passage. So that poem Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reads and he enters into ecstasy, including Haridas Thakur also reads the poem and he also enters there. What he wrote is that he is praying to the Lord, give me thousands and thousands of mouths where I can glorify you, and also give me thousands and thousands of ears so that I can hear your glories. When you enter my heart, please captivate me or conquer my heart. So this is what the poem describing about the Rupa Goswami wrote it. So whenever you come in front of the Lord, so you should ask that, you are asking that, please help me to control my senses. But in the mind of Krishna also says that, please chant my name. So this was the message of that, conclusion of that, why Virata Rupa has been described in this, so that the neophyte devotee can meditate upon the Lord. Thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.